Hi there, welcome everyone to another Sunday session of 2022. This is the free group assistance for performing artists by Rosas and me, Carlito FLUITO. So today we are going to focus on planning new creations, okay? So I'm going to introduce you to the Tamos methodology or the Tamos map that is going to help us to navigate our progress and our advance in 2022 and how we are going to prepare and plan these creations. I invite you to take notes about all the content because as you can see, we are going to be covering different things. And in this session, I introduce you to the structure that we use in Raining Rosas that consists of warming up, playing camp, the reconnect and the meditation exercise, theory, the boot ground, and also the consolidation. And at the end, I will introduce you and I will show you all the services and things that we are offering to performing artists. So let's start with my story. If you don't know me, first of all, don't compare your own story to mine. Mine is different. Every one of us is unique. So who am I? Am I Carlito FLUITO? And I help performing artists to improve their mental health and professional stability using spiritual psychology and career counseling. My artistic career started many years ago in 2005 with breakdance and urban dance. Once I finished my degree in psychology, I decided that I wanted to live abroad, so I went to Denmark. Over there, I explored and learned about contemporary dance and physical theater, and we built a group called Archetypes Kinetics that we were performing around different places in Denmark, in Copenhagen. Over there, I presented my first solo, Breathe All the Way Out, with which I won the choreography competition of 2015. After that, in 2016, I moved to study a master in positive psychology, and meanwhile, I was creating my second solo, Franz Kafka and Gregor Samsa, about the metamorphosis. And also, I engaged in a big project. It was a musical. I directed a musical with 60 kids from 8 to 18 years, which was a big process of learning into how to direct big groups, how to manage different things, how to carry out a big production. Afterwards, I was combining my knowledge on spirituality and positive psychology with the body, with movement, and I created these workshops like the one in Reconnect. But then, I wanted to know more. I wanted to be in academia. I wanted to be a professor. So I looked for a PhD in psychology and religion and spirituality, and lucky me, I found it, and I became a PhD. But this wasn't what I was expecting. I was super miserable with my life that consisted on waking up at the same time, taking the same train, going to an office to do only and exclusively mental work. I was reading papers, I was writing papers, I was researching, I was taking my train, coming back home, and I was sacrificing my dance, my social life, and I was becoming more and more lonely. Imagine yourself, a very creative and artistic person, having to do the same job every day, having to take the same train, going to the same office, no nature, no friends, no dance. I was so miserable that after a year and a half, I couldn't stand it anymore. And despite the stability and the security, the financial, and being on the middle of Europe, I decided to quit. And I did. I was so committed to focus exclusively on my artistic career. And this was February of 2020. And you might know that then COVID hit. So the moment that I quit my job as a PhD and I was fully committed to develop as an artist, COVID hit. And all my friends, dancers, they were like, okay, everything is getting cancelled. We are not having any job. We don't know what to do. What is going to happen? But I'm a very stubborn person and I was committed to develop my career as an artist, whatever. I didn't care. So what I was doing, I was taking a camera and I was going outside to the street. And I was writing these short pieces that I call micro performances. You can find them in social media, either on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. I was so committed to do it that I keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. And this is how I came up with the Raining Rosas and also with the Tamos methodology. How to motivate artists, how to send this message of no matter your situation, no matter your level, no matter where you are, you can create and you can share messages with the whole planet. So I created a longer solo of 20 minutes that I presented in the TikTok Center in Brussels. And then I created another solo up to 1 hour of testosterone that I presented here in Spain. But that wasn't enough for me, and I was committed to spread and continue evolving performing arts beyond Europe. And that's why I went to Africa and I went to Zambia to meet local artists and to develop Raining Rosas and also Kunika Zambia, and to start building bridges between Europe and Africa. And this is where I am now, this is where we are. We are planning to build a cultural center over there in Lusaka to invite all performing artists all over the planet that want to meet what is an African reality and what is to be a performing artist in Africa. And if you want to know more, I'm also a writer and I published this book. It's both in Spanish and in English, and there is more about my story which you might resonate with if you are struggling with existential questions like who are you, who can you become, if you are able to love or not, and also how can you give meaning to your life. If you are interested in these questions, this book is for you. Having said that, in the live session, because this is a recording of the live session, we always introduce each participant. And I invite you to move, to stretch, to use your body as performing artists that you are, while people are introducing themselves. They normally introduce saying something like, my name is. So actually stop the video and answer these questions in the comment box below. Okay? So what's your name? Where are you from? Your country or your city? What do you dance and since when? What are you passionate about? What do you have difficulties with at this moment? What do you value and how do you feel? And for how do you feel, you can stop the video again, find out in this table, in the upper part if you have a lot of energy, in the lower part if you have low energy, in the right if you are feeling good, in the left if you are not feeling so good. Find out your emotion and write it on the comment box. We always start every session with a story, and the story of today is the warm-up story of the story of a performance. So, once upon a time, there was a person that wanted to try something that they hadn't done for a long time. And this activity was, he saw that there was a festival in the city, and he thought, okay, let's go to the theater and see what performing arts are in modern times. He goes to the theater, he sits, and then the lights goes off. At this moment, a single person enters into the stage and starts speaking. And he says 1, 2, 3 words. And he repeats 1, 2, 3 words. 1, 2, 3 words. And this person spends the next 5 minutes repeating 1, 2, 3 words. On top of this person is doing one movement and repeating the same movement. And repeating the same movement. And repeating the same movement. And he spends the next 5 minutes repeating the same movement. Then there is a change and the person starts walking on circles, speaking 1, 2, 3, 4 words, 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Walking in circles, walking in circles. And after 15 minutes, the lights go on and the show is over. So this person is extremely confused and he doesn't know what he just saw. And he's also frustrated and annoyed about going to the theater, all for this, to see this. So he totally, clearly chooses not to come back to the theater again because he has Netflix and he can watch movies that are more entertaining wherever he wants. So welcome performing artists to our current times. It's 2022 and we are competing against Netflix, against internet and against thousands of entertainment industries. So we as an artist, we have to be focused and mindful of how to bring out our creations in a way that are engaging, entertaining and also educative for our audience. So what has happened with art? A lot of, according to performing arts, has gone very abstract. And this abstract has gone very conceptual. And this has made people to be more disconnected and not willing to attend to a lot of the performing artists that are out there. And to continue, we are going to do a quick game, which is the playing camp section. And this game is about creating our own abstract performance. So I invite you to stop the video again and came up with a philosophical, social, solipsistic concept. In my case, this is gonna be the alienation of the human individual in modern societies. And then a repetitive text that is related to this. For example, loneliness, loneliness, loneliness and misery. Okay? And then a repetitive action, which is, in my case, is gonna be like hugging myself, but not being able to hug myself. Okay? And I repeat the text, loneliness, loneliness, loneliness and misery. And a repetitive sound, like loneliness, loneliness, loneliness and misery. And now basically I just need to write a project, an artistic project, a proposal, and I can go to a performing arts modern presentation and premiere my wonderful abstract performance. So stop the video, create yours, and write the project and send it around. So obviously this is a game, okay? But just so you know how important it is to go deeper into the concepts, to work in our creations, and to go beyond with what we do, so then we can really express the value that we have inside. We are going to do the reconnect section, which is going to be a short meditation that helps you to connect deeper with the day of the premiere. So this is going to be a creative visualization. So I invite you to sit straight, relax your neck, roll your shoulders, breathe in deeply. And with the breath out, relax. Relax your body, let your eyes close. Focus on your breathing. Focus on your body. And I invite you to see, sense, feel your previous performance. The last performance you did. And I invite you to remember the day of the premiere. How did you wake up that day? How was your morning? How was the feelings that you have? Maybe there was some nervousness, some excitement. And how was to go to the place, to this theater, to the room where you were going to premiere? How was to arrive there? How was the warm-up? What were your feelings and your sensations in your body? And then they are telling you that it's your turn in 5 minutes and you have to go. You are doing your last warm-up, your last focusing exercise, and you go to the stage. You start dancing, you start performing, and you go through the motions. You go through this experience, probably in a state of flow where you are not fully realizing what you are doing. And then the beginning, the middle, and somehow you reach the end of the piece and people are clapping to you and you feel the recognition of all the work that you've done. And then people come to you and congratulate you for how much your piece touched them and how was the experience for them. And then you're happy because people are finally recognizing all these months of work. And your friends sit with you and tell you how was for them the piece. And then you go all together to celebrate it. And eventually you go home and you go to sleep knowing that you have done it. That you're a performing artist and you premiere your creation. And with these feelings, We are going to go to the future. So keeping these feelings inside you, I want you to imagine, to sense, to see, to feel, to hear the day of your next premiere. You might have a piece in mind, you might have a performance in mind that you want to premiere. And how is going to be that day that you wake up in the morning? How are going to be the feelings of nervousness or excitement in the morning? When you go to the theater, to the hall where you are presenting, you are going to be warming up. How is that warm up? How is that feeling 5 minutes before you enter the stage? How is that moment that you enter? And then you perform in this state of flow. The beginning, the middle, and the end of the piece. And then people are clapping you, and you feel the recognition and the value and the joy of having premiered your work for the previous months. And people come to you and they give you feedback and they tell you how much they like it, how meaningful it was for them. And you feel the importance of all the work that you were doing and how it's meaningful. And you go with your friends and your friends give you feedback, and then you go to celebrate it. And eventually you go to sleep with the joy, the gratitude, the uplifting feelings of connection, and the realization that you are a performing artist, and that you are doing what you're supposed to do, which is creating and sharing your message, your feelings with the planet. And with these feelings inside you, I'm going to invite you to breathe in deeply, unlock the feelings in your body, feeling them intensely, and bring these feelings to your body, to your breathing, to the current moment. And with a big breath in, you can let your eyes open slowly, and you can come back to the present moment. And I want you to write in the comments, I'm going to ask you and invite you to write in the comments how was for you this exercise. How were the feelings? How did you connect with these feelings? Because this is the job as an artist, and these moments where we feel totally connected and aligned of what we do, of who we are. And with these feelings in mind, we are going to move to the theory, which I'm going to introduce you to the Tamos methodology. Very briefly, an overview of the methodology, so then you can start applying this into your next and your previous performance. So think about this previous creation that you were imagining during the creative visualization, and with this peace of mind, the 5 elements that apply to physical theater that I invite you to review and think about what could you have modified. These 5 elements are text, acting, movement, object, and scenography. So with this peace of mind, what could have been different, what could have you modify, and what could have you change regarding text, acting, movement, the usage of objects, and scenography. I invite you to stop the video now and take some notes whether you could have add more acting, more character, more interpretation, or maybe the inclusion of an object in the piece, or how you were using that object during the piece. And now we're going to go to the future. So think about this next creation that you imagine, and think about this idea. And we are going to go deeper into the Tamos methodology to fully understand how to apply this methodology to your next creation. This is the Tamos methodology, which gives you a structure for speeding up the creative process and to improve your performance skills. It's a structure and it's simplified. Creation is infinite and there are many infinite elements and subcategories. In the case of the Tamos methodology, there are 5 elements: text, acting, movement, objects, and scenography, which choose subcategories each. In the case of text, the written part, the text that you write, and the spoken, how do you speak the text. The acting section element is composed by a character, how to form a character, interpretation, how to interpret and perform this character. In the element of movement, we have the expression, how to put your feelings into the movement, and the dissection, how to analyze everything that you do with your body so it becomes perfect. In the object element, we have manipulative, what is this object and how can you use it, and the manipulator, how can you add meaning, symbolism to that object. And in the section of scenography, we have in material, how to came up with ideas about light and sound, and also the material, how to came up with ideas and materialize the costumes, the makeup, or the set design that you're using in the piece. So with the Tamos methodology on mind, what elements can you add or modify to your next performance? And you can now evaluate more critically how to use this methodology for your next creation, as well as for improving your skills. And this is how we go to the boot ground section. Here is where we are going to do practice and heavy lifting. So first of all, this is a matter of priority. I'm going to invite you to choose these premieres and to put them on the calendar. Depends on where you are in your career and what do you plan for 2022. What are your goals? If you are interested in goal setting, you can go to the first section where we cover more about how to set up healthy goals for 2022. And of course, for not stressing out, you can see the second session about stress and anxiety. So I'm asking and I'm inviting you to find out a chart of the 12 months and choosing in which month you are going to do the first premiere. You don't have to overthink this, you just need to pick one where more or less you think you will be premiering. And now I'm going to invite you to choose another month where you are going to premiere a second performance. Because thanks to the Tamos methodology, you are going to be able to speed up the creation process so much that you will be able to create 1, 2, maybe more pieces for this year. So once that you have chosen the month, if you haven't, pause the video and choose at least one premiere, we are going to do something called reverse engineering, where we are going to get all the weeks until the premiere date. In my case, we are preparing a piece called Oxytocin that we plan to premiere at the end of February, and these are the weeks that are left for us. So we are going to put the Tamos methodology, this map, into this other map of the weeks. So when are we going to write the text of the performance? When are we going to memorize and train the spoken aspect of the text? When are we going to develop characters? And when are we going to train the acting of the characters? When are we going to come up with the movement material, the expression? And when are we going to polish and train all these movements? Which objects are we going to include? When are we going to explore them? When are we going to polish the work with them? And finally, when are we going to plan the scenography, to buy whatever we need to buy, and to rehearse with the scenography? So all of this can be planned into this chart. Depending on the month you choose, you can get the methodology and setting up the different elements and subcategories on the different days and weeks and months. Stop the video and do it now. And this is how I arrived to the consolidation, which is the last part of the video, and I'm gonna invite you to do a weekly challenge. This weekly challenge includes the introductory course of the Tamos methodology. This is a course that is paid and the cost has 15 euros. Where we go deeper into the methodology, we explain more into detail each of the elements and each of the subcategories, and this can help you to speed up the process, to have a more clear structure, to simplify the creative process, and of course it's going to help you to improve your skills as well as to help you to prepare the workshops considering the Tamos methodology on mine. This course is just 15 euros, but for the next week, which is the week until the 23rd of January, there is a discount of a 33% if you write the code FLUITO here in the box of the codes. There is a link on the description of this video to go to access to the course. And I have news for you. Remember that we are working on Africa and we are working with Kunika Zambia. So 10% of all the profits of 2022 of Foreign Rosas will be donated to Kunika Zambia to build this cultural center in Lusaka for performing artists all over the planet. So the weekly challenge for you is to go through the introductory course of the Tamos methodology, which is totally optional, and then do the Premiere calendar. So take the calendar, take the Tamos methodology, and plan out your next creation. And with this, I want to introduce you to Raining Rosas, which we are a physical theater company that is focused on innovate and combine different performing skills. And we are doing artistic projects in Africa, as you know. Our goal is to help performers to develop creative, sustainable, and healthy career. And we are focused on the artistic aspects with methodologies like the Tamos methodology, with training systems and supporting the creative process. Into the professional realm, we are helping entrepreneurs, freelancers into aspects like production and finances, how to manage your own finances. And the mental health, we are focused on psychological help and support groups. How do we do this? We do this through individual sessions, as you can ask for it, and then you can get personalized assistant. And the educative content, as I show you, the Tamos methodology is one of the many courses that we are offering and that we have for you to help your development as an artist. If you want to know more, we have the podcast where we are showing and explaining the different values of the company, the mission, and the vision. And now it's your turn. So first question of all is help me to help. Out of your social network, out of all your friends, which one would you like to invite to the next session, which is happening every Sunday of the year? Which friend do you want to invite to these sessions? The more we are, the more value the community has, and the more you can meet people from other points of the planet. And our community, just to inform you, is growing day by day with more and more people from more and more countries. It's a wonderful thing to come here to show up every Sunday and meet wonderful artists all over the planet. If you have any question, I'm very willing to answer and I'm very willing to sit with you and talk with you and help you as much as possible. So please don't hesitate and write it on the comments or reach out directly to Raining Rosas. As well, if you are interested in giving feedback, it helps me so much and it helps us so much to keep on growing and evolving and improving what we are doing. So please share with us what is your emotional state, what have you liked the most of this session, what has been the most valuable thing for you, and for the next session, what do you want more of? And if you would like to cover a specific topic, we are very willing to continue the journey together. For your information, the next session is the 23rd of January, and we are going to speak about motivation, which is a very important topic because sometimes motivation goes down and then we stop everything that we are doing, but we don't want that. So we are going to develop a custom-made habits. We are going to learn a very fun system to track, and of course we are going to review the content of the previous 3 sessions to get ahead into the last session of the month. So thank you very, very much for showing up, for being here. And as you know already, you can contact us through contact@rainingrosas.com or through our social media, Raining Rosas, both in Facebook and on Instagram. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this session was useful for you, and we cannot wait to see you in the next session. Thank you very much. The Tamos methodology is there for you to help you, and I want to see you creating so many performances during this year that you're gonna skyrocket your performing arts career. Thank you. This was FLUITO, and see you next week.